Hi.
I'm Mark.
Nice to meet you, Mark.
I have to say, I thought you would be older.
You thought I'd be older?
I thought you'd be older.
I'm actually 72 years old.
Wow.
Just taking
You
care
look
of
really good then. Must be that life longevity, right?
It's making video games for a living.
Yeah. So I've read some of your statements. Can we talk more some financials first? Is that all right?
Sure.
Okay. So tell me, what do you feel is going to give you the trigger to pull on a second Skylander?
You know, look, we think we've got something pretty magical here with Skylanders, and the initial kind of early reactions from everywhere, the toy industry, the video game industry. We've got some early reviews in that are very positive, and we think we're going to have a hit on our hands. We're obviously going to analyze it very carefully, but my sense is that we're going to have something very successful and very magical.
So, as Activision, now you seem to have expanded more into the mainstream for children's games, or would you say that Skylanders is not only geared towards the younger?
Well, I think the primary audience is clearly children. I can tell you from my personal experience, I have two kids, 7 and 5, Luke and Jake, and I love playing the game with them. So I think it's going to be one of those titles that comes into the house for the kid, or that a lot of parents are going to enjoy as well. And a couple of the reviews, I've been very pleased to hear, kind of some hardened game reviewers say, yeah, I know this is meant for kids, but I got to say, I can't stop playing it. So I think we're going to get a little bit of that. I wouldn't call, core gamers a primary audience for this game, but I do think that Toys for Bob and Activision have made really legit video games here, not just a novelty with toys. I really think they're great games.
What made you decide to pick Toys for Bob as a developer compared to, let's say, big name? Why not bring Insomniac back into the picture, the original creators? What made you decide to pick someone that wasn't involved in the Spyro brand?
Well, first of all, the idea of bringing toys to life was Toys for Bob. That was their initial vision and their concept, and they're a part of our family. The example you gave Sonic is not, and they had a beautiful vision for the game, and so it was an easy choice once we saw the pitch. That sort of took care of itself.
Do you feel that you formed a relationship with some of the developers, the writers of Toy Story? Did you know them before?
I'm in this business for the relationship I have with the developers. I think we have a great relationship, and it's been a wonderful collaboration. There's a great push and pull, and both Toys for Bob and Vicarious Visions have been wonderful partners. You mentioned the writers of Toy Story, Alex Solo and Joel Cohen. We brought them into work with Toys for Bob to kind of create the mythology behind Skylanders. They're two of the best writers in the world and have a particular skill with children's stories, as evidenced by Toy Story, and I think they came up with a great backstory for us.
So now, having in mind, I'm not sure if you can say anything about Guitar Hero franchise, but are you thinking about restarting that possibly?
As I've said many times, Guitar Hero is a very powerful brand. It has a lot of people who love it, and if we can bring it back with meaningful innovation and kind of reinvent the genre, then we will. That's not something we've announced, formal plans to do yet, but it's something that we're very focused on seeing if we can do. What was clear is that the games that we were making with the sort of existing formula, it kind of run out of steam. And that wasn't just true for us, that was true for Rockman, it was true for DJ Hero, some pretty innovative games, and I think we've got some strong brands that we need to innovate.
I can tell that you're a visionary. So as a CEO, you have to look to the future. So 2020, how do you see the gaming industry, specifically Activision?
I'll tell you this. First of all, I appreciate the compliment, but everybody I've ever heard trying to predict the future 10 years out in business has been wrong. And no one ever, comes back 10 years later and said, I watched you give a speech 10 years ago and you said X, Y, Z would happen. And I try to really look at the next steps in front of us and not do too much future. I think that we are in a dynamic business, we're in a technology business, we're in a creative business, and it's going to be rapidly changing. And exactly how those pieces will fit together, I don't think anybody really knows yet. But what we're focused on is building great experiences and great brands and beloved characters and beloved worlds that people want to inhabit. However the world unfolds technologically, I think there'll be a place for those brands in it.
you feel that you really try to utilize the new Wii U technology?
I think the Wii technology looks really interesting, and Nintendo is a pretty great company with a pretty great track record. So yeah, we're very interested in it, and I think there's probably some natural synergies with Wii U and Skylanders.
Last question for you: do you have a price aim for what Skylanders should be?
A price aim? You mean the price point?
Yes.
Well, we've announced the price point. Yeah, $69.99 for the starter pack.
10 million. How many sales do you expect?
Oh, I'm not going to give you. I'm not going to give you a projection. But look. It's new intellectual property. It's the hardest thing to launch in this business, so we of course plan conservatively. But at the same time, we're being very aggressive with our marketing expenditures and with our retail expenditures because we think we've got something very special in our hands and we're optimistic. So
you've done a great job.
Thank you. Well, enjoy yourself and have fun.
I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Take a picture?
Oh, absolutely. Okay.